Thank you. The Vice-chancellor is going to give us some remarks or as an opening speech, an introduction of our new UTB Divis academics, Dr. Ian Mutesi. Your Honorable Vice-chancellor, I think the floor is yours. You are most welcome and we are all waiting for your remarks. Thank you.
The whole world, Rwanda and the UTB in particular, we are facing a tough period due to the outbreak of the coronavirus. And as you know, UTB and the other universities in Rwanda, we closed our operations, our on-campus activities on 16 March 2020. And since that time, you are aware that we were allowed to reopen on 12 October in the Kigali campus. And you are aware also that we were also allowed to reopen for the Gisenyi campus at the same time, but the real reopening was done on 11 November 2020. Since we reopened, you know, we were allowed to reopen only from level 3 up to level 5 of total number of our students. And this is also due to the spread, to avoid the spread of the coronavirus. Especially the first year's student, and we didn't receive also until now new student. Having reopened on 12, currently all operations are being done. I mean teaching and learning as well as assessment for all the students. The lecturers are in place. Students have joined. Actually, out of the total number of the students that were supposed to be back, majority, more than 87%, are already studying, and they are being assessed. And all activities on the campus, including practical teaching, they are being run. Industry attachment have started. So no more activities at the campus have started. But all those on-campus activities, they have started in a tough period, whereby we have to respect coronavirus measures. From entry throughout the campuses, we are respecting all those measures. We have put in place a team of COVID command team, which is composed of well-trained staff and students mostly, who are advising whoever is entering the campuses, Kigali and Rubavu, or the washing station facilities, whereby from entry, you have to go and wash your hands. We have infrared thermometers for everybody who enter here. We have installed everywhere in the campus throughout, whereby we have installed the facilities everywhere. And throughout, you can respect and wash your hands and respect all measures, because there are everybody in all levels of our building, in all corners. There are people who are ready to advise you on what to do to make sure we contain the spread of the coronavirus. And until now, so far so good, there is no single case that has happened at UTB, which is very good in Kigali and Rubavu. But we have to be aware and continue to apply all those measures. So we feel motivated since we started, and we remain very positive to work very hard with the students who are aware, because there is a team of lecturers and a team of students, especially the student union members, who are working day and night to make sure everybody who is at these two campuses, Kigali and Rubavu, everybody is safe. So we continue to work in that spirit with the hope that the future is bright, because there is a light that the coronavirus on a daily basis is being contained, but also we are working with different organs who are in charge of making sure that the country continue to contain the outbreak of this pandemic. With this situation, of course, we have to remain positive. We have to work very hard. We have to continue to be strong and to feel that the future will get better, as scientists are working also very hard to make sure the vaccine is ready as soon as possible. So we have to keep safe ourselves. The students are aware. We are always monitoring what is happening in the classes, what is happening during assessment, to make sure that wherever our students are, there is a team of people who are looking at the respect of different measures put in place. So I thank everybody, the leadership of UTB. I thank in a special way the team, the COVID command team, who are working day and night, from the morning up to evening, to make sure that the campus continue to be safe. We are working the whole UTB community. We are thanking them also, because they are respecting all those measures put in place. So what we wish is to see that everybody has a positive mindset, because when your mind is the most powerful weapon that we have, when you are positive, when you have positive thoughts, your life will start to change. So we hope that with that positiveness that has characterized everybody at this campus and at the campus of Rubavu, we hope that the future will be bright until the vaccine reaches here. And let's continue to work very hard. Let's continue to have solidarity in this situation. Let's continue to have this mindset positive. This will take us through this very difficult situation of the coronavirus pandemic. For the student, I want to say this: welcome back to UTB. There is a team of staff, academic and administrative and support staff, who are ready to serve you, to give you quality service. Lecturers are ready, and they are doing a great job. For now, in Kigali, I think we have done already 3 modules, while in Rubavu campus, they have already finished 2 modules. And we are now in the process of doing different assessment, starting, of course, by CATS, Continuous Assessment Test, and doing final exam for all the modules that have been finished. But also, you remember when we closed in March, There was 1 or 2 modules that have not yet been finished. Those modules are being now taught. And for you to be promoted because you are at the end of the trimester, there are supplementary exams that are being prepared, timetables are out. We have also students who have done online courses. Those courses will be repeated. Lecturers are doing revision with face-to-face mode. And finally, you will do cuts in the final exam, and we go through all those missed modules. And this trimester has started also in October in Kigali and November in Rubavu. The trimester will be long, of course, because of those modules we have to catch up with, but also the trimester that has also to run. The trimester will run up to end of January 2021. Gisenyi may take like 2 weeks or so of February, but we have to make sure that everything that we have lost between March and September, those things will be covered during this period. So we thank you also the motivation you have shown since we started, and we encourage you to work very hard. By working very hard, you will defeat also this coronavirus. Let's continue also to be aware of the measures put in place by the campus, respect the advices received from the COVID command team in Kigali and the Rubavu campus, and let's work together. Let's build a strong solidarity towards achieving the objectives set by the university. And by the end of January 2021, it will be the end of also our trimester, and we will be able to cover everything that have been lost during this trimester. So the aim of this interactive conference with the student and the staff is to continue to make awareness, but also to say that even though the period is not the same as the ones before the coronavirus, but life has to continue, and you have to continue working very hard, and you have to continue to be a good student, attending classes on a regular basis, respecting timetables, and doing the necessary assessment that are put in place by the institution. Then we will be able to defeat together this coronavirus. So that's why we called you for this virtual meeting. And I thank you for having attended. And we invite you whenever time for question and answers will come, raise your issues, raise your questions, raise also anything you have in mind that can help the institution to serve you better. For the moment, I thank you very much for attending, for this opportunity. Let me introduce the Deputy Vice-chancellor in charge of academic affairs so that she can also talk about mostly academic affairs. Otherwise, I thank you very much, and I wish you success in whatever you are doing throughout this trimester. I wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you, VC, for your remarks and introduction into the DVC academics. We would like to call DVC academics, our new DVC academics, Dr. Lilian Mutesi. She first greets us as UTB community, because some of the students don't know her and wish to know more about her. Then she go ahead by telling us about the current academic situations and the way forward. Honorable Divis Academics, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, the MC, for the floor. Even if this is a virtual meeting, let us recognize the well-formulated remarks that we get from our VC. Let us clap for him. Yeah, thank you again. Yeah, I'm Dr. Liliane Mutesi, the new Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academics. Yeah, it was really a great pleasure to join UTB community as the one heading academics. So I also appreciated the warm welcoming messages that I received. Yeah, this is the status. As long as academic calendar is concerned, we started our new year 2020-2021. UTB is offering in a different area bachelor's degrees, diplomas, and certificates. So we started, but remember, is only the second year and the third year. So far, we are doing well. As mentioned by VC, we are done with 2 modules, and now is the 3rd module taking place. And we have been doing our best to make sure our students are given up-to-date course material. Attendance are being taken. And as you are aware, we have our e-learning management system where our lecturers are putting all course material, quizzes are taking place, and then CAT and exams are also taking place. We are making sure then what we are giving to our students are really of high quality. And we promise that we will keep really doing it and definitely to take it to the next level. So our way of delivering, we have been really doing much about it. Introducing new methodology, especially for this time technology is leading. So we are making sure then in whatever we are doing really technology is also considered. Yeah, another issue is about assessment. Another to make sure the quality is given to our students. We are making sure also that after 2 weeks of an exam, our students are getting marks. So this also, we are really following it closely to make sure that feedback are given to our students, and then we make sure it's done on time. So another issue that we are focusing on as of now is just to get feedback from our students. You know, you are a key person, dear students, as you are meeting today the VC. You are really of a great importance. This is why in whatever we are offering, we want to get feedback from you. We want really to get feedback about lecturing, about the way that we are teaching, and how really our lecturers are performing. You know, as a human being, every time there is really a room to improve. So kindly, anytime that you have to provide feedback, feel free, because we are really here for you, and we want to give you the best. Another issue that you have to be aware, most of our services are now online. If you need different documents, kindly go on the website. It may be looking for a to whom. It may be an academic transcript. It may be promotion if you want to be promoted from one year to another. All those services are online. And you are also able to get your marks online, which means then wherever you may be located, it is now easy because of ICT. As then you may be having different questions to ask. I'm not going really to take long. but we'll really give you time to express your challenges, and together we can overcome them. Let me wish you success in whatever we are doing, and let us really work together to make sure that your experience at UTB is of greater is well. And another issue that I want you to be aware, we have really to make sure our motto is well respected, making a difference. We have to make sure a student from UTB, either in IT, hospitality, or tourism, you have really to make a difference on a market. So this is why we promise you to give you the best, so that also you may be competitive to the market. Thank you, and thank you for your choice to be at UTB. You will never regret this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Divis Academics, for giving clarifications on what's going on in terms of education, in terms of studies affairs. Some students were worried about how they combine the current academic program and the ones who missed in lockdown when we were doing online courses. But I think that was very clear. And if anyone has any question, please feel free to write, to send us a message by using Facebook, on Zoom, or on Twitter. So we'll be happy to answer all your questions at the end of these conversations. So now, as you all know, students also have some issues or some questions, some concerns about money. I would like to invite our DVC PAF, DVC Deputy Vice-chancellor in charge of planning affairs in the finance, so to come in and tell us about how do students pay fees, what do they supposed to do. There was news when we were still in lockdown where we were saying that we reduced some fees for students who are attending online. They also want to know if that program is still going on, or if they can pay as they're supposed to be paying in normal ways. So they are asking themselves all these issues. So it would be better if you talk on that as well. Honorable DVC PAF, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerome, for good moderation. And I'd like to iterate what the VC said. Also, very thankful to the COVID command team for the good job that is being done. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to welcome the entire UTB community back to school, both students and faculty. As far as this meeting is concerned, and as far as the Finance and Administration Office is concerned, some of the key things that we would like to highlight, and they are not really different from what has been going on in the past, especially that we don't even have first years right now who would like to understand how finances are managed, or how how flexibility we are in terms of supporting their payments. Many of the students that are here are existing students. You all know the modes of payment. Nothing has changed. However, I would definitely recognize that we are in tough times, and challenges are with us today. And so many students, including those existing and even other staff, we do have challenges financially. And so we might not be able to meet our financial obligations as has always been. But as UTB has always been supportive and has always been with you in terms of supporting and working with the journey with you in terms of handling the finances, we would like to say that we are still on the same journey with you. We would like to walk the journey with you. I would like to support you in every way that we can for you to be able to meet your financial obligations as individuals, as students, so that the institution can also meet its obligations financially. One of the things I'd like to say, and maybe what the moderator started with, when we recognized that the COVID had brought us all challenges, the UTB took an initiative to provide a discount for the trimester that we were in lockdown for all the students that were paying in that period. So I'd like to clarify that every student, and I think we did clarify at the time, that all the students that were paying tuition fees during the trimester of the lockdown, so the last trimester of last academic year, from May to August, that is the trimester that was discounted. So anybody that paid their dues or their tuition fees within that period or within that trimester, their tuition was discounted. So it is, again, I clarify, it is between May and August. So anybody who has not paid their tuition, who did not pay their tuition in that period, will start paying at the normal rate. So if you are supposed to pay tuition during that period and you paid, 182,500 was discounted. But after August 30th, we went back to our tuition as usual.
Of course, you have the guild president from Rubavu campus and the guild president from Kigali campus, Mr. Lazaro, and we really thank them for their support in preventing these COVID-19 measures to make sure that people are safe and healthy as we are going with our research and running activities. Mr. President, Guild President Lazaro, if you can hear me well, please take some time and you focus on how you are managing this COVID-19 measures at UTB. And maybe if Guild President from Rubavu campus is around, can also have some minutes and talk after you. Thank you so much. I think the floor is yours if you can hear me.
Thank you, Moderator, Mr. Jero. And it's really a great pleasure to be here presenting how far we are with the compliance of this COVID-19. To be honest, it's been really a very big, it has been a very long journey since we started, since we opened the campus. But so far so good. Up to now we have 0 case. I would say that this is something that we should really appreciate, because since we started managing this, we haven't encountered any case. So I will start by the life so far at the campus. How are students responding to COVID, how ready UTB is, and how the staff is mobilizing the community UTB at large to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. And of course, to answer these questions and many more, Student Union was given a task of forming a team of volunteers who were going to help the university in opening up the campus up to now. I mean Rubavu campus and the Kigali campus. And we now have 40 volunteers sacrificing themselves in the daily life to mitigate this pandemic. After receiving good news that we have been admitted to the Open the University activities, we all cheered up, and no one really knew what it was going to be like, because we've been at home for almost 7 months, and everyone was longing for coming back to the campus. So we really appreciate the effort so far. And here in Kigali campus, we opened the activities on 12th October. The first student stepped at the university early in the morning. We had a very big briefing, plus the other training that we had with a specialized team that were meant to guide us. And it was a time of prudence, not panic, science, not stigma, fact, not fear. And it was really tough to handle the situation at the first 3 days of the opening. So we have a team of volunteers that has been helping us since day one, and they really made us proud. For sure, office attendant in the building that we are using here in the campus Kigali, some of them, they don't cope with these guidelines, whereby you find someone wandering in the campus premises with no face mask. But we have really briefed them so far. They have corrected those mistakes, and we also received visits from various media houses like Flash TV, RBA, Contact TV, Isango Star, the campuses, to mention but a few. So without taking much time of ours, I would like to thank Mr. Jerome for having given me the floor to share the brief experience of how far we are here at Kigali campus. Thank you so much, Mr. Jerome.
Oh, thank you, Guild, for giving us brief. Thank you. So I would like again to suggest all the people to mute their microphone, because you are seeing more people joining this conference platform. So there are some students who are following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Zoom. So they also mentioned some more questions and their comment, but most of them are really appreciating on how the campus, the university is serving them, and we are grateful for that. So now, some of the students asked some questions. Like 3 questions are addressed to Vice-chancellor. One is some student, the question is from Facebook. Some were asking about virtual graduation and sending graduates mails. So like some students are asking if it's possible for them to do their graduation online if the COVID-19 doesn't stop. The second question was, which is linked to that one, like we're asking when will the graduation be during this COVID? Like either if it's possible online, if yes, when is it supposed to be done? If not, when do you suppose, then do they supposed to graduate? Other students were asking fees for those who paid fees during COVID-19 but didn't finish their trimesters. How are they going to study? Thank you. You can first answer these questions. Then I read the other questions as I'm checking on Facebook, Twitter, and Zoom as well. Thank you, Vice-chancellor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jerome, MC. I thank the students for the questions they have raised. I have answered them through online, but let me talk about them. The issue of graduation is being planned. You remember when the COVID outbreak came in, we were supposed to graduate in May 2019, but it has been stopped due to COVID. So now we are planning the graduation depending on the situation of COVID. The plan are that between March and May, if the gathering of many people is allowed, then between March and May we can graduate as usual. But in the case it goes beyond May without having this possibility to graduate physically, face-to-face, then we are planning to have a virtual graduation. Of course, all of these have to be approved by the Ministry of Education through the National Council for Higher Education. So we are working on this. Both two kind of graduations are possible. The issue is the first plan, number one, is to have a usual graduation, physical graduation. In the case public gatherings are accepted, and depending on the situation of the COVID. But in the case this is not possible, then everything has to go online. The issue of tuition fee that have been paid during the COVID. So we said that if somebody has paid the tuition fee, it was dedicated for a trimester. So that trimester, if you didn't study it, so it will be considered during the trimester that you will study. So that is not a problem. Okay? DVC has talked also about the discount that has been offered during the lockdown, especially the period between May and August. This was allowed, it was true. So those who managed to pay, the discount will be applied. But those who didn't manage to pay during that specific booked period, they will have to pay the normal tuition fee. There are other information I wanted to give you, to update you, because this is a great opportunity to share with you what you have. The first information is that since we have reopened, the Ministry of Education has allowed us to register new students. We are registering a new student currently, both in the Kigali and the Rubavu campus. So we are calling upon those who are attending this conference to spread the message, but also by the mouth-to-mouth approach, also to tell other colleagues, friends, brothers and sisters and cousins that UTB has reopened. We are registering a new student. Nothing has changed in terms of tuition. Our services are ready to receive you. We have a good team of people who are specialized in customer care, in receiving people in good manner. You are ready to receive new students. You are registering them. There are also people who are wondering why the first years are not yet here. So we are asking the Ministry of Education, as we have mastered the first cohort, there is still a space to receive more students. And we have requested this. The MINEDIC is the one to decide on the date. So very soon, apparently, they will be also allowed to join the campus, the two campuses. Gisenyi is a brand new campus, even though there were difficulties during this period, but we managed to finalize the construction of the campus of Rubavu. Now it is a brand new campus, which can receive even more students, which can host more students. The remaining part was on accommodation. Starting by 1st December 2020, we'll be able to accommodate students in the new hostels built at the new campus. It is a conducive environment in terms of learning. It can receive national students and international students. So please, let's work together to make sure we attract more students, to make sure our campus is given a value it deserves. Another information is for the student. I told you we have reopened for second years and third years. Those are final years students. But when you look at the students who have already come back, there is still a good number of people who didn't come. It may be due to two factors, probably the socio-economic fabric, which has been endangered during this period, or probably students don't have information that the campus is safe and it is working in a good way. So we call upon those students who didn't come back to rejoin the institution. If they have issues related to economic powers, financial issues, they can approach our Department of Finance to negotiate plans for payment in installment this is also allowed. We are ready to hear you. We are very flexible. We have to accompany you during this period and to understand whatever problems people may have. But of course, it requires only to go and see the finance department and negotiate new plans for payment of areas, but also payment for the ongoing activities. Another information I wanted to give you, this COVID has been a problem, but it is also a way of finding new innovations, finding new ways of addressing education in order to avoid the disruption of education when another pandemic or these ones it comes back seriously. So what we are planning and what we have done, you are aware that we have helped you to study online during the period from May up to September. So this online teaching and online assessment and evaluation, it is something we have invested in and we continue to invest in. We are requesting the Ministry of Education to approve this new mode of delivery so that in the coming days, probably if this one is approved by the Ministry of Education, then we can still continue to offer face-to-face teaching and learning, but also deliver online teaching approach. So this one may continue together in the near future. We are waiting for the Ministry of Education to approve this, and we have the hope that UTB has invested a lot in this, and as you have seen, you have experienced this, we are really comfortable with offering also blended learning or online teaching fully. So this will depend, by the way, by what the outcome from the Ministry of Education. So this is something also that will help us also to fight against COVID, because some of the students may be having a blended learning mode whereby they do some courses online and they come back to school for practical courses or field visit, okay? But theoretical courses can be run online. But this will depend on how the Ministry of Education will give us positive feedback. So for this, we are calling really students to consider all those development. I said also the campus of Rubavu is a brand new campus, but still we are also constructing in almost at the final stage of finishing Warewero campus, the new campus in Kigali. This is also a big milestone, a big trajectory we are planning to finish so that we become really self-reliant on our promises. Another activity that we are planning is the use of technology has helped us a lot. So we are investing a lot in technology. For UTB, the good thing, we have prepared our students. First entry, they have to do what we call ICDL, which is a comprehensive digital literacy certificate we are giving to our students to make sure they become familiar with the development of new technologies. And this is boosting really the way we are doing this for our students. Another information is efforts that have been invested in making sure that our students are conversant with the use of English wherever they are. So we are investing a lot also in this to make sure that our students at the entry point, they sit for CERT examination. CERT is a standard English language test, which will be compulsory delivered to every student entering UTB, but also before the exit, before the graduation, students have to get that certificate to show that they master the use of English in their professional life. And this is not very difficult because we have a good number of lecturers who are well trained, who are very motivated to inspire you and to accompany you to go in this academic journey to make sure we graduate people who are not only computer literate, but also students who are have literacy in the use of English language, which is a big requirement on the labor market. The third element is taking seriously entrepreneurship courses, because while we are graduating our students, we want them to be able not only to seek for jobs and apply for jobs, but also to be able to start their own jobs and employ others. That is the big goal that UTB has, and we are investing a lot. We have made very compulsory this course from year 1 up to the final year to make sure that our students become more entrepreneurial, become more job creators. The last but not least information I want to give you, I told you about a good achievement in terms of construction. But for your information, ladies and gentlemen, UTB, since we reopened, you know that we have good teams in terms of volleyball. Since we reopened, we entered into the championship, of course respecting the measures of COVID. And for your information, UTB women team, volleyball women team, they won the championship of this year, 2019-2020 championship, and the men volleyball team was ranked second in the championship. This is also a great achievement UTB has able to achieve. So with all this information, I don't know if there are other questions that have been raised, but we are ready with the team here, DVC Academic, DVC PAF. We have registrar here. We have marketing people. We have the person in charge of COVID here. We are able to answer any question or to comment on any issue that can be raised during this virtual conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vice-Chancellor, for clarifying and informing all our followers on this, on the university's life. So we remain with two main questions. One is dedicated to DVC in charge of finance and planning. So some students are asking you, so most of the students that were ready for graduation are asking the reason why of paying 15,000 Rwandan francs when you need a degree before graduation. I don't know if this is even possible. So they had already paid all the money related to the graduation, but they need a first-hand piece of information from you leaders. So yes, and the second question is dedicated to DVC academics. They are saying, why is it this we can't decide which faculty to continue with when we reach in the third year in business management? Because in this regards, someone is just doing management without specializing in any area. So they were just wondering if you can't give any directions on how they can be specific, either choosing marketing, finance, or any other specializations as they are doing management. And your Honorable DVC academics, I also need you to tackle on the punishments, rules regarding the students who are cheating. In case students are cheating, I need you to remind them on what what they should keep in their mind so that they can't rely on cheating or doing any other mistakes related to the academics. Thank you.
Thank you. With regards to the question that has to do with the payment for the provisional degree, that's a management decision that was taken based on the fact that graduation has delayed and some students needed to access their graduation certificates or something that actually shows that they've graduated. And so because we are not in position to provide the graduation certificate officially before the graduation, a decision was taken to provide a provisional degree. That's a common practice, that's a standard practice, not just for UTB, but even any other universities. When it's necessary, provisional degrees are provided for those who need them. And so because we cannot give you the degree at this time, the provisional is charged. And this is also in relation to the fact that even for those who needed, to whom, even in the past, it has been paid for 5,000. And so this is the first time, yes, UTB is going to be providing provisional degrees because the delay of the graduation. And so the fee was arrived at based on the fact that a provisional degree serves the same purpose as a degree. But because it is provided before the original or the actual degree, then that is the fee that was set by management and by the UTB management to be able to provide that. Yeah, so for those who needed the clarification, the provisional degree certificate is 15,000. For those who need it now, but if you don't need it now, then you wait for the actual day of graduation. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. Now, DVC Academics, please, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, moderator, for the floor. Yeah, there are two issues that has been raised by our student concerning the Faculty of Business Management, especially on specialization. Usually, as of now, we are just only offering business management, but we applied for more specialization. So this is to let you know, dear students, that once they will be approved, you are going really to have variety. But as of now, we are only offering business management. Kindly bear with us as this is under process to get them approved. Yeah, the second issue was about cheating. Usually, academically, this is a malpractice. This is why, as long as quality is concerned, any university can't really allow this. This is why we have different fines for someone who is just doing this. Yeah, we have three different ways that after a hearing or a disciplinary committee meeting, either we cancel the record that you have been having, especially coursework in that specific module, based on the way you did it, and after resolution of disciplinary committee meeting, you may even be suspended for a term. It all depends on how you did it and the materials that you used. Once then it is critical, so you may be dismissed. So there are different ways. It depends on how you explained yourself or what was the reason behind cheating. That is what I can say about that malpractice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, DVC Academics. Thank you. So as you know, Vice-chancellor were telling us about entrepreneurship, where he's encouraging students to think on how they can open their own business. So marketing team is working on a kind of competition about young entrepreneurs, especially our students. That's why we want to invite marketing team, and they come so that they can tell us more on how these students who have business ideas, how they can come and have some coaching from the university, and how they are linked to the financial institutions. Thank you, marketing team. If anyone can come and present about that, the floor is yours. Thank you. You can use this one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm from the marketing department. Sorry, I think I have to fix my scarf when I'm looking at myself. Yeah, it looks like we've been doing a lot of serious things, talking about finances. Maybe some of your hearts are pumping right now, asking yourselves how you're going to do it. But you'll be fine, yeah? Okay, so what I'm here for, we have a competition starting on, maybe we can say starting on Saturday, because basically what the competition is going to be about. Our team, our stars, UTB volleyball team, both females and male, they are going to be coming to Rubavu, for those who are in Rubavu, okay? So what's going to happen is we want to give a chance for both students in Kigali and Rubavu to join them and have fun with them. So that's why the competition, we named it Best Fun Competition. So what this is basically, when you are, you're going to be given a quiz and you have to answer a few questions, and those questions are going to be around different things. That would include, for example, some of the milestones of UTB, which shows how good you know your school, your university. It would be things around common knowledge. It would be things around hold on a second, sorry, let me have a look, okay? So it will be about the UTB team, milestones, COVID-19 elements as well. How good are you when it comes to, you know, all the measures that you need to take and precautions in your own individual way and in a group wise. It will also be around general knowledge as well. So we know you don't know everything, so we're making it easy for you to win. So how you can win is you can, we're going to be posting starting, actually we started today. So
I would like also to thank the students who participated virtually on in this conference, and I thank you very much. At UTB, we believe that this kind of interaction between the management, the student community, as well as other stakeholders, it is something that we will continue to do, because together we can aspire to the heights, to reach the heights of education. We can aspire to be at the rightful way of delivering what we have promised you. So there is a team, a committed team, customer care team at UTB. I mean academic and administrative and support staff, ready to serve you. So let's work together to make UTB a great institution. Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you for your time. And let's continue to work hard. Solidarity means something that we have to continue to build to make sure UTB continue to grow as it is planned. Thank you very much. I wish you a nice weekend and all the best. I wish success to students. I wish the staff safe and enjoy your weekend. Thank you.